Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today we're going to make a waterfall jacket. This project has been turned inside out, and then I folded it in half vertically and lined up all the seams. Once I had it all smoothed out and lined up, I just picked it up right there along that fold in the center, right near the tag. I swooped it all up into my hand and began to wrap it with my sinew. And I'm going to do this for the entire project. So the sinew is going to create those white lines, and it's going to give it definition in between the colors. So you give it a little squeeze and then wrap your sinew around a time or two and then pull it tight. Someone asked about the sinew being pulled from section to section, if that's going to create lines. How I try to avoid that is I wrap it a time or two, then I pull it tight. So that line that goes from the first section to the second section isn't actually pulled tight, it's just sort of resting there. Now, you also want to make your sections be varied in size. So I put some close together, then I spaced them out and put, a big one, and then I put a few sections that are, the same size, and you just really want to have a random feel for it. So I'm going to let this play out, and at some point I'm going to speed it way up to warp speed, or else we'd be here all day. Notice how I'm always constantly ruffling up the fabric? That's to help give it a more organic feel. If I don't do that, it could take on the appearance of a bullseye, and that's not the look we're going for. I want it to have a really natural, sort of meandering lines look once it's done. So as you're wrapping, fluff your fabric. Hey, do you guys want to play a little game? I'm curious how many of you are actually still watching me tie this up. In a comment, just a regular comment, leave me the month and the year that you started tie-dyeing. The great thing about these geotype patterns is you don't have to have really any skill at all. They turn out amazing, and the more weird and random they are, the better they turn out. This is going to be a Muck ice dye. So once you have it all tied up, find a container that's going to fit it pretty snug. You don't want it floating around in your muck. You want the muck to stay around the project. Yay! Now it's time for the fun part. We get to add the dye. And when adding the dye, you want to just go section by section. It looks like I'm adding it to 2 whole sections, but I'm just sort of following the sinew lines. And these colors are going to be absolutely beautiful, you guys. So, and I also want to say thank you for those of you that watched the entire tying up, because it really helps the channel. Short views give the videos like thumbs down in YouTube's eyes, and it does hurt the channel, and it doesn't get the content out there for other dyers to learn. So I really do appreciate you guys that watch from start to finish. Thank you. Since we have a little time here, I want to address a topic that I get asked about quite a bit. Why do I wear a mask when I add my soda ash, and when I'm adding the dye, why don't I? I don't wear a mask during the dye adding part because, well, first of all, Dharma doesn't tell me to, so I'm not really worried about it. And then secondly, it doesn't affect me. I have never noticed any dye in my nose, like on a tissue or anything like that. I feel like the dye is, more dense and it's not flying up in my face. So, that's why, if you guys know of a place where Dharma says we need to wear a mask while we're adding the dye, please, show me that, and it changed my mind. I do wear a mask when I'm working with the soda ash because it does irritate my nose, and I have had soreness in the inside of my nose when working with it. So I choose to wear a mask. We have them laying around. So I just quickly put one on, use my sprinkle of soda ash. When I'm mixing my soda ash water for my bucket, I definitely wear a mask because it flies up in my face. So it's just a matter of personal preference, you guys. We're adults, we're making tie-dye. If you want to wear a mask, awesome, do it. If I don't want to wear a mask, please don't come at me and tell me that I should be wearing a mask. So now you want to give it a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure. We're having some really nice sunny weather, so I decided I wanted to batch this outdoors and take advantage of that heat. So you have to cover it with something. The reason I'm setting it inside of another bowl is these are from the dollar store and you cannot guarantee that they're going to not leak. You know, I've had some have cracks that I don't even see, come back and my muck water is gone. So it's just an extra safety precaution. So this is what it looks like. The muck water doesn't completely cover the top of it, and it will float a little bit, so you don't need to add so much ice that your project is floating in a bunch of water. That's unnecessary. So figure out your ratio of, ice to the size of the container. Okay, so it's been 24 hours and now it's time for the rinse out. And you want to start by using cold water to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric, and then gradually increase your water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. From here, I take it to the washing machine and I do a hot water cycle. I do a second hot water cycle using Synthropol, which is now called Kirillon because Synthropol has been discontinued again. So if you're looking to buy it, it's down below in the description box. I have a link for it, and I have it called Synthropol/Kirillon, something like that. Then I do a third hot water cycle using Millsoft, and Millsoft brings softness back into the fabric after the dyeing process. That is not a necessary step. It's something that I choose to do, and if you're able, I recommend it. It's pretty good stuff. And then from here, I take it to the dryer, and then we'll come back and we'll see the results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our waterfall jacket after it's been washed and dried, and it's really pretty. It's very elegant and super classy, and I feel like this type of jacket is, going to be very flattering. This is a size small, but for some of us girls that are maybe bigger upstairs, I think this is a nice pattern because it'll drape nicely, kind of almost like you're wearing a scarf. I really do love dyeing rayon and more like women's fashion. I think it's beautiful. I'm not going to abandon the spirals, but I think these just turn out so beautiful. And that Palomino gold just gives it the contrast against the blue, and I just love it. So, I don't know. I'm super happy with it, you guys. I think it turned out great. What do you guys think? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all so you can get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing.